Hello dear children. Today we are going to deal with the chapter number 2, The Sound of Music. This chapter is from your Beehive book. Dear children, this chapter has two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is about Evelyn Glennie and the title is Evelyn Glennie Listens to Sound Without Hearing It. Dear children, as the title goes, Evelyn Glennie listens to sound but without hearing it. It means the girl can't listen. She can't listen to the sound. She only feels it. Okay? So we will read this chapter about the girl Evelyn Glennie. That is part 1. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. Here the author means to say that if her hearing has been taken away, but she is gifted with something extraordinary by the Almighty. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any one of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. It means she can only feel the music. We will read the following account of a person who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. Dear children, this is an inspiring story, and I'm sure we will learn something important from this story. So let us begin. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. Now, dear children, here rush hour means an hour of the day when the traffic is at highest level. And crowds means a crowd of people. Jostle means pushing roughly for position on the underground train platform because the people are taking their position in order to board the train which is just approaching to the platform. Now children, here the people, they are pushing roughly one another in order to take their position. Amongst those people, there is a girl, a slight girl. Slight means small and thin, looking younger than her 17 years. Though the girl is 17 years old, but she is looking younger than that. She was nervous yet excited, and she is filled with the emotions, nervousness, as well as excitement, as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. Actually, she is feeling that the train is about to arrive, as she could feel the vibrations made by the sound of the train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London. Now, here prestigious means a reputed, a famous, and that is the Academy of Music which is situated in London. And the girl is going to that academy in order to learn music. And daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. And she is frightening enough for any teenager, like a teenager. A teenager is a person whose age is in teens, okay, as the girl is 17 years old. And she is from Scotland. Fresh from a Scotland farm means she belongs to Scotland, and in Scotland she had never seen such kind of gathering as she is seeing at the platform. But this aspiring musician, now children, aspiring musician means a person who wants to be a musician, and here the girl is an aspiring musician. She faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. Here the author tells us that the girl faced a bigger challenge than any one of us because she is completely, entirely deaf. Profoundly means completely. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Here the author tells us that she lost her hearing power gradually, means step by step, slowly. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. And first of all, her mother observed this thing that the girl cannot listen, cannot hear, And when she was waiting to play the piano, and she was only 8 years old, little girl. They called her name and she didn't move. There, the musicians who were teaching her, they just called out her name, but she didn't move because she didn't hear anything. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard. And here I means her mother. Then her mother felt that Evelyn didn't hear anything said by the teachers. Says Isabel Glennie. Now, children, her mother name is Isabel Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. For quite a while means for some time, for a few days. She tried to hide her. Conceal means hide. Manage means tried. Her growing, increasing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. Now, children, when she became 11 years old, in her school, in her academics, her marks had deteriorated. Deteriorated means decreased in amount. And her headmistress urged means here requested her parents to take the girl to a specialist of eyes. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. And that time, it was discovered, it was found that her hearing power was severely means seriously in a great quantity impaired means weakened, and as a result of it was because of gradual nerve damage, because her nervous system was gradually damaged. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids, and the specialist advised her parents that the girl should be equipped with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Also, the doctor advised them to send the girl to a school which is for the deaf children. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. Here, Evelyn says that after this incident, her life became completely black. Okay, means it was a shock for Evelyn Glennie. Okay, but Evelyn was not going to give up. But the girl, she was so powerful that she did not want to give up. Give up means quit. And what did she not want to give up? Her we can say here her desire for learning music, because she wanted to learn music. She had an ardent desire to learn music, so she did not want to give it up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. She was determined means here she was just firm at her decision that she wanted to lead a normal life and pursue means follow her interest in music. She wanted to fulfill her dream of music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. She noticed means she saw a girl playing a xylophone. So that day she decided to learn to play it. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. Now, children, most of the teachers, they just discouraged her, demotivated her because they thought that she was completely deaf, so she can't learn music. But there was a man who was a percussionist, means a person who plays the drum, the tabla, etc., a musician named Ron Forbes, and he spotted means he identified her potential means talent of learning music. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes, and he just brought two large drums and set them on to different notes tunes and said, "Don't listen through your ears," he would say. "Try to sense it some other way." As he knew that the girl was deaf, so he told her to listen through, not to listen through ears. Instead, try to listen it some other way. says Evelyn. And these things tells us Evelyn. She tells, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up. And she felt that she could feel the vibration, the beats of the drum from the waist up part, means her upper part of the body, and the lower one from the waist down. And the lower beats of the drum she could feel from the lower part of her body. Forbes repeated the exercise. The percussionist Forbes, he repeated the exercise for her, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. And soon she was able to listen those parts from her different parts of her body, those notes. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. Now here Evelyn tells us that she had opened her mind as well as her body to sound, means to listen the sounds and vibrations. The rest were sheer determination and hard work, and the rest was her uh, complete determination, her firm determination and hard work that helped her to learn the music completely. Okay, children, so that's all for today's class. Rest we'll discuss in our next class. Till then, thank you.